first things first, we are going to require a sole to begin our furry comforts, and today I'm using a number 7 because number 7 seems to be one of the most common foot size for women. You can always use the sole of a flip-flop sandals if you do not have one of these soles. And so for the materials and supply, we are going to need a sole, and also we will need this beautiful furry yarns. And I'm using this peach color today for this video. I want to explain or elaborate a little bit on this yarn because this is going to be the butter of the whole slipper, right? Unfortunately, the yarn came without any label, so I'm not really sure what type of yarn this is, but the shopkeeper calls it a feather wool. But if you know the actual name of the yarn, please leave a comment down below. It feels really nice and soft in my hands, even though it might look rough. And actually, it's the fuzzy texture of this yarn that plays all the trick. The pattern is actually simple. So if you want to work the slipper with a different type of yarn, then a chunky yarn would be too thick, I guess. So you might go for a 6-ply yarn. I don't know if that would work out, but because of the fur in these yarns, even if the string is small, it tends to cover up a lot of space, you know. So try going for a 6-ply yarn if you want to go for a normal yarn and not this type of frizzy yarn. So then you'll require 2 crochet hook size. One has to be a smaller hook. I'm taking a 1.5 millimeter here. It has to be just small enough so you can pick up the initial stitches there. Then a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook for the body part. And of course, you will require a scissor to cut the yarn and needle to sew in the ends. Now that we have all the materials, let's go ahead and make these comfortable slippers. In my previous slipper making video tutorial, I showed you that we begin the stitches from the middle portion of the slipper, right? But in this particular comfort, we are going to start from the toe area. So we take the middle portion of the toe and move towards the right and left in equal proportion. Okay, so from the middle, we move towards the right a few inches and also towards the left a few inches. So when you measure it like that, you should be able to adjust your initial stitches within this few stitch, okay? So in order to begin, I will insert my hook from the outside towards the inside, okay? You can see the direction of my hook. So you insert. Like any regular stitches, we are going to make a slip knot and begin. So we make a slip knot. Just pull the yarn through, chain 1 to secure, okay? Then we put 3 single crochets into this base stitch. That's 1, 2, and 3. It might be difficult for you to see here. Let me just try to show you. The base stitches that are here on the slipper. I hope this is visible, right? So yeah, into this we are going to put 3 stitches each, okay? In all of this, we're going to put 3 stitches. If it is a shorter one, you can put 2 single crochets, or if it's a longer one like this, you can put 4 single crochets. And so what we are doing is we are establishing the base of this slipper and also giving it a beautiful border by putting single crochets all around it. The number of single crochet is not fixed, so put it as much as the base stitch can allow it or adjust it. So continue putting the border and I will see you after that. Okay, so you must be wondering, oh my gosh, I can't see any of the stitches here, so how will I understand the pattern that she'll be explaining, right? It has been my concern, like how am I going to show this in the video tutorial and make you guys understand? But don't worry, I've completely figured it out how to do it, and I'll explain that just in a while, okay? But just before that, we'll switch our hook to a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and we are going to begin. Like I said earlier, we need to adjust the initial stitches within these two imaginary points, right? So we are going to put 10 single crochets within these 2 points for this number 7 according to the pattern. Actually, let me just show you here. When we began the border, we have put 3 single crochets all around, right? So we should have more than 10 single crochets here, but we're gonna be missing out a lot because we cannot see the number of stitches. So what we need to do is by hook or crook, we have to adjust 10 single crochets within these two imaginary points, all right? We are going to start by putting 1 single crochet into the very same stitch where we have put our slip stitch. Coming to the explanation of how you can work the pattern without actually seeing the stitches is that you have to follow the number of stitch counts that I provide for this pattern, okay? So you have to adjust the number of stitches from one end to the other end for every given rows. So it's like you have to rely on your muscle memory and the touch of your hands to feel the stitches and adjust it, okay? It's like one of those ninja movies where the light goes off or when you're blinded, you rely on your other senses for survival, right? So for this pattern, for this slipper, you have to rely on your muscle memory, but it's really worth going ninja on this slipper because as you can see, the result is marvelous. Okay, now back to the pattern. We just put 10 single crochet and I think we did all right. It's centralized. So let's finish row 1 by putting a slip stitch into the next stitch available or into the base of row 1, okay? So we put one slip stitch to complete the row. Then to start row 2, we are going to put one more slip stitch into the next stitch, okay? So one more slip stitch and we chain up 1 to begin the row. Turn our work. And now row 2 is going to be an increase row. So we will put 1 single crochet first. Then we will put an increase into the next stitch. So an increase is 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So 1, another single crochet. And now we're going to put 6 single crochet. And then an increase in the next stitch, 1 single crochet and slip stitch. Okay, so since the stitches won't be visible, we will try our best to distribute the 6 stitches evenly. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 single crochet. Then we are going to put an increase into the next stitch. So 1, into the same stitch, 1 more single crochet. Then we make 1 last single crochet into the last stitch. And we will slip stitch into the next stitch to complete row 2. Okay, so that completes row 2. And for row 3, we slip stitch into the next stitch, chain up 1, turn our work, and now we are ready to begin row 3. Now for row number 3 and 4, we are going to put 12 single crochet across and 12 single crochet back. Okay, so like I said earlier, we have to try our best to distribute the 12 single crochets evenly. So we'll just make 1, 2, 3. So put 12 single crochet across, back and forth, and I will see you when you have done your 2 rows of 12 single crochets. So I'm at the end of row number 4. I'll complete it by slip stitching it to the base of the chains, foundation chains. Then for row number 5, I slip stitch into the next stitch again, chain up 1, turn our work, and we are ready to begin row number 5. And row 5 is an increase row, okay? So we put 1 single crochet and then an increase in the next stitch. If you want, you can increase in the first and the last stitch, but I want to smoothen it out, okay? So I put a single crochet first and then an increase in the next stitch. So I make an increase here. Then we're going to put 8 single crochet in between, okay? Before the next increase, we are going to put 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 single crochets in between. Then we are going to put an increase into the next stitch. So we make 1 single crochet, another single crochet into the same stitch. Then we make 1 last single crochet into the last stitch. And we slip stitch it to the base of the foundation chain of the slipper, and this completes row 5. To begin next row, we slip stitch into the next stitch there, chain up 1, and then we are just going to put 14 single crochet all across for row 6, and for row 7 we put 14 single crochet back. So what we are doing here is we are putting 1 row of increase, then 2 rows of same number of stitches, then an increase. Okay, so you will repeat this pattern till row number 19, where you'll be putting 22 single crochets back and forth. And the free pattern for this and other different sizes will be available on my website, and also I will link it in the description box below. One more thing that I would like to point out here is that if you look at the sides of the slipper, both the sides should be equal, okay? Just in case, you can make these changes. So when I bring the slipper together like this will be the inner side of the slipper, right? And this is the outer side. So the outer side of the slipper is allowed to have just a little bit of stitches longer than the inner side of the slipper. This will depend on the number of stitches that you're taking this side. If you take more, it will be longer this side. So you are allowed to just take it just a little bit longer on the outer side of the slipper. Yeah. So just after row 5, you can see that the slipper is already taking shape. So continue to do this till row 19, and I will see you back here. So when you wear your slipper, it should almost reach your ankle, okay? Actually, this is big for me, so it is too inward. But once you find that this is the good size for you, then you can stop it, or otherwise you can add 1 more row. And so when you see the slipper, you can see that we can almost divide it into 1, 2, and 3 parts, right? So it's like 2/3 of it should be the cover, okay? To finish off, I have actually slip stitched it to the foundation chain, so I'll just chain up 1 to secure the yarn, and then we will just cut it off. Alright, now just pull the yarn through, and that's it. Now, to hide the tail, you can go through this foundation stitches, or you can go through the rows. So whichever way is convenient for you. I think I'll go through the rows because it's easier to find the stitches this way. People ask me why I cut off the yarn so short, whereas other creators would leave a very long tail to sew in. Well, I just don't like wasting yarn. I'm a miser when it comes to yarn. So there it is. And just go back one more time to secure the ends. And surprisingly, despite the short end, I still have yarn to go back, right? All right. So we just trim off the remaining yarns and that's it. So here's the slipper. It's the same for the left side too. You can just go in the same direction as I've done it for the right side. It won't make any difference. So this is what it looks like after I've completed both the pairs, and yeah, here is the final piece. I hope you enjoyed this slipper pattern. I would love to hear your thoughts on this slipper, so leave a comment down below and I would be glad to answer away any of your questions or doubts. And so yeah, that's it for this, and thank you so much for watching till the end. I will see you in another video with another pattern. So bye and take care for now.